International Conference on Sustainable Business Management, organized by the Department of Management Studies, IIT Roorkee, in association with Arizona State University. This conference is a momentous occasion as it brings together some of the brightest minds in the field of sustainable business management from all around the world. As we embark on this exciting journey, we must remember that our goal is to find innovative and sustainable solutions that will enable us to build a better future for our planet. The theme of this conference is Sustainable Business Management. Over the next few days, we will be exploring the various challenges faced by businesses today and opportunities that exist for us to make a positive impact on the environment, society, and the economy. Our speakers and panelists are experts in their respective fields, and we are honored to have them here with us today. They will be sharing their knowledge, insights, and experiences with us, and we hope that the presentations will inspire and motivate us all to take actions. At the heart of this conference is the idea that sustainable business management is not just a buzzword, but also a critical component of our future. We must work together to create a world where economic growth is balanced with social progress and environmental protection. As we begin this conference, I encourage you all to be open and honest discussions, share your ideas and experiences, and collaborate with one another to find new and innovative solutions to the challenges we face. We shall declare the conference officially open with the recitation of our Institute's Kulgeet, and I would request everyone to kindly stand up for it. Thank you. I would now request Professor Usha Lenka, head of the department, to welcome our guest to the inauguration session. I would invite the dignitaries on the dais, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Professor Rajiv Ranjan Mishra, Professor Partho Roy, Professor Usha Lenka, Professor Tarun, and Professor Manu Kumar Gupta.
After the welcome address. After the
welcome, and then we as a head, you will, then we will do the diya. Then we'll do release the conference proceedings.
Good afternoon, one and all, and a warm welcome to all of you. On behalf of the Department of Management Studies, IIT Roorkee, I thank Deputy Director IIT Roorkee for inaugurating the event at 10 o'clock by a plantation drive. I welcome all the deans, heads of the departments, distinguished professors, faculty colleagues, research scholars, staff. I welcome Professor of Practice, Professor Rajiv Ranjan Mishra, former Director General National Mission for Clean Ganga, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Director General and CEO, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, Professor B. Balachandran, Chief Research Scientist, Department of Management Studies, Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, Professor J. Venkateshwaran, Institute Chair Professor, Industrial Engineering and Operations Research, Mr. Nikhil Barshikar, Founder and CEO, Imarticus Learning, Mumbai, Dr. Vranda, Deputy Director and In Charge Research Project Division, ICSSR, Mr. Kamlesh Kumar, CMD Hindustan Salts Limited, Professor Raghu Santanam, who would be joining online, WP Carey Business School, and Professor Parisha Sinha, Waikato Business School. She would be also joining online. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to the inaugural session of International Conference on Sustainable Business Management 2023. The event is a remarkable event for the department as it earmarks the 25th year of excellence. The department was established on 2nd of March 1998, and this event is the first official event of the 25-year celebration of the Department of Management Studies. The conference also earmarks, as it extends solidarity with the worldwide movement to protect the planet Earth, referred as Earth Hour. It would be celebrated on 25th of March 2023 by 192 countries. In the quest for development, there have been massive exploitation of natural resources, denuding natural habitat and human settlements. Preserving planet Earth has become difficult due to human-induced environmental changes, urbanization, climate change, food shortage, ecological crisis have caused social unrest. So which calls to re-examine and rethink the challenges and also search for a solution for a sustainable business model. However, of late, there has been a realization of ensuing dialectical dialogues between the concept of sustainable development. Till date, the construct of sustainable development has not completely emerged. So there is a dearth of comprehensive definition of sustainable development. This definition has emerged out of different deliberations at conferences and out of the interest groups which are organizing movements of sustainability. So sustainable development does not distinguish between the goals and means, but interprets it as a process of change and which is also enduring. Sustainable business management is an iterative concept which gains ground from theory and also is practiced and verified and tested again and again. So this conference provides a platform for deliberation where we have to rethink of a new business model which can help in working for future, where we can preserve the planet Earth and we can also evolve with a reframe a definition for sustainable development. So there are three phases of sustainable development. The first phase started in 1972. 72 to 87, the emphasis was on preserving natural resources. Then the second phase was molding phase, which started in year 87 with the emphasis on economic growth. And the third phase, which is called developmental phase, which emphasized on developmental practices. So the business organizations are in the phase 3, where they're evolving with different definitions of sustainable development by evolving the concept of different practices, which can help us to rethink of a new world. Rio Conference 92 has given a definition of sustainable development with the perspective of 3 dimensions: social, environmental, and economic aspects. Further, in 2012, the Rio Conference gave a 4th pillar of governance. So the definition of sustainable development has been evolving one after the year after year. And in year 2000 onwards, again, there are massive emphasis on sustainable development from different perspectives, and business organizations need to think from the strategic perspective, strategic reaction to social, economic, and environmental factors, and to secure organizations in the long run. So sustainable business management models or sustainable models need to need to incorporate all aspects of sustainability into business operations. With these words, I wish the conference gives you an ecosystem to deliberate and discuss on the new business management practices which can help us to revisit future. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Lenka. I would now invite our dignitaries on the stage, Mr. Joy, Mr. Ritesh, Commodore Kamlesh Kumar, and all our faculties for lamp lighting and unveiling the conference proceedings. Professor Ranganikar, Professor Barua, Professor A.K. Sharma, Professor A. Ramesh, Professor Vinay Sharma, Professor Kalpak Kulkarni, Professor Saurabh.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्र वस्तामृता या वीणा वरदण्ड मण्डित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष जडापाः शारदा सरस्वती सर्वकला समारा सर्वाणि सर्गेषु रहित्रहि रूप धरिणि शारदा सरस्वती पतित पावनी निराकरणी पतित पावनी निराकरणी अद्भुत गति देव करणी परम रूप धारिणी विश्व भार हारिणी शारदा सरस्वती शारदा सरस्वती शारदा सरस्वती सर्वकला समारा सर्वाणि सर्गिषु गृहीतहि रूपधरिणि शारदा सरस्वती शारदा सरस्वती शारदा सरस्वती शारदा
सर आप आइए सर हम उतार के तब आ रहे हैं नरिति अनिर्बान कम
After unveiling, speaking. Yeah, okay. I would now invite our chief guest, Mr. Praveen Kumar, to unveil the conference proceedings. Thank you, sir. I would now invite Professor Tarun Sharma, Organizing Secretary of SBM 2023, to introduce the conference to our esteemed guests.
Honorable dignitaries on the dais, participants in the conference, and faculty colleagues in the front rows. Very good afternoon to you all. So I welcome you all to the conference. So already quite a bit has been spoken about sustainable development, sustainable business management by Professor Lenka. So I'll just give you some information about the conference as such. So we got registrations from different eminent institutions all over India for this conference. To be specific in numbers, 35 registrations are from 9 different IITs. 23 registrations are from different NITs and triple ITs. 10 registrations from 6 different IIMs. 39 are from central universities and other colleges, and 33 are from state universities. And there are other 6 individual registrations and industry delegates. So if you look in terms of gender diversity, so we have 105 female registrations and 75 male registrations, which is spectacular. Further, there are 120 student participants and 58 faculties and industry think tanks. Summarizing the participation state-wise, we got registration from almost every state of India, but majority are from Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Uttarakhand, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and Karnataka. So in this conference, 33 papers are being presented in online mode. So we had initially received more than 240 to 50 abstracts, and eventually roughly 170 people have registered, of which close to 140, 150 are coming physically to attend the event, and some 30, 40 are attending online. And in fact, as we speak now, so this session is being live streamed on YouTube through the Institute channel, and so would the subsequent sessions before the high tea for today. And for tomorrow, the keynotes in the morning, again, the links have been sent to all the online presenters, and as well as all the parallel tracks, all 26 of them, so the people can join online as well. And 14 papers are being presented at posters, and they'll be displayed outside tomorrow morning, and then you can have a look at them when you walk around tomorrow. In terms of areas, so we have highest number of submissions in sustainable human resource management, 32 papers to be precise, and you'll have, say, sustainable HRM track 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running today and tomorrow as well. And sustainable development goals is the second largest area, 27 papers, and then so on sustainable finance, environment, social and governance, sustainable production and consumption, circular economy, green supply chain management, renewable energy, diversity, inclusion and equity. So those were sort of the key themes in which we invited papers, and then of course people submitted. So with this brief introduction to the conference, I wish you a good stay. I have been in touch, I think, with several of you over the last few days, and it's glad to see a room full of you here. And we've tried to organize a good weather. So it's pleasant and sunny outside today. I hope it stays the same, although the forecast is otherwise for tomorrow. But nonetheless, I hope you have a pleasant stay and a pleasant conference experience here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Professor Partha Kumar Roy, Dean of Resource Allocation, to share his thoughts about sustainable business management.
So, distinguished guests on the dais, distinguished speakers and participants, faculties of these departments, student, and all the participants from different institutes and universities across the world. A hearty welcome to you all to this campus. And I am really delighted to see the topic of this conference, the sustainable business management, which is really a need of the hour. So I must congratulate this department for thinking on this type of topic and deciding on such a topic to be deliberated for next 2 to 3 days, as I can see here. And by the number of participants, papers, speakers, what just now I heard about, it really seems that this conference is going to be a very, very vibrant and effective one. And lots of deliberations will happen and exchange of ideas will take place. Since the business development, business managements are the foundation of any sort of economic development or development of a nation, so I think lots of important outputs will come out of it. And I am sure the proceedings of these conference will lead to lots of policymakers, lots of foundation research can be taken further. So I think in that context, so this conference is going to be very, very important and remarkable conference in these days. So I welcome you all on behalf of the Institute. I welcome all the participants and dignitaries on this campus. You will have a very good and enjoyable stay and also have a look at the vibrant campus. You must visit our main building campus, lawns and other places that you can see. If time permits, I would say that you can visit our archive that we have in our, for those who are from outside institutes. We have an archive in the library that houses some of the very, very important and prominent things which you can look around if the time permits in between that. Otherwise, the campus is very green and nice one. And also the cognizance and student activities are going on during this time. So you will find a little bit of buzzing campus with lots of noises with young minds. So you can also have a reflection of student life in the campus. In addition to that, we have also an alumni event from tomorrow, 1995, Silver Jubilee Reunion from tomorrow. So all these three things together, highly academic, student technical festival, as well as alumni events, is making these 3 days very active and very vibrant in the campus. So you can have a flavor of everything what happens in the campus. So with these words, so again, welcoming you to all in the campus. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Roy. I would request Professor Ramnikar to felicitate Professor Roy. Thank you, sir. I would now request Professor Rajiv Ranjan Mishra, Conference Chair, to share his thoughts about sustainable business management.
Let's even. Thank you, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Director General and CEO, Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. A dear friend, old friend, also my batchmate. I am really very happy to see him here as chief guest of this function. Dr. Partho Saab, Dean. Again, we have long association. We keep on meeting on different occasion. Professor Lenka and Professor Tarun. I think Mr. Manu has gone busy doing something more for the workshop. And all senior faculty members, colleagues, and distinguished guests who are here. It's really very important occasion. When I was hearing Professor Lenka say about the Earth Hour, and then, and we all know this is a very important occasion, 25 years of the department, 175 years, glorious years of this institute. But last 2 days are also very important. 21st of March is International Day of Forest. And yesterday, of course, a more popular one, all of us know, I think there are lots of conferences which happened in IIT Roorkee also, World Water Day. And then we are starting to talk about sustainable business management on 23rd. So I think the whole coincidences, I think they are all made to really make this occasion very momentous and excellent. Now, there can be several definitions of sustainability. Let's not get into that. Perhaps this conference will throw much more ideas. All these papers which have come, they will actually dwell into very intricate details and aspects of sustainability. Now, sustainability and business. I think per se, normally if we think, ideally they should be together, but normally we think the business and industry, this is more for the profit. And when you think of others, when you think of earth, when you think of ecology, when you think of society, sometimes you have to compromise your profit. I think the idea of business management or idea of business or industry was profit in 70s. We all know the Friedman's theory when he says that the core value of a business is to make profit as long as you are not doing illegal activities, because you will be caught and your profit will be all gone. But there has been a huge change in thinking about business since then. We all know, I think there was a responsible investment. UN came up with that idea of responsible investment. Over a period of time, there has been much more discussion about that. Please also think of a quote of Peter Drucker, which says that oxygen is necessary. So profit is like oxygen for the business. Without that, you won't survive. But if the purpose of life is only breathing, whether it is worth living. So I think that is something which we have to keep in mind. And now, of course, as we have proceeded, as we progress, we have sustainable development goals. If you look at all those goals, I think nothing in our life, nothing of the industry, nothing in production or consumption will be left if you look at the 17 SDGs. That then you also have now a time where people are talking about ESG framework, environmental, social, and governance. Because ultimately, good governance will ensure that all the things are balanced and everything is taken care of. There is also a talk about net positive companies. I mean, there are lots of in the management, people are talking about, Paul Polman is the main propounder who talks about net positive companies. When you organize your value chain, don't just look at your thing only, your suppliers' value chain. Your suppliers will also thrive, then you will also thrive. So I think the whole thing is the whole universe is linked with each other. And then I think nature understands it. Sometimes we deviate from that nature and then we become unsustainable. But in the long run, perhaps for the business, for the profit also, because if you are looking for investment, the investors are very much looking into where your impact is, how much risk you are going to have in your activities from the ESG point of view. Now, I think these are all evolving ideas. Lots of regulations are evolving, lots of ideas are evolving, lots of business practices are also changing. So I think this is perhaps the very important time when we are having this conference. And as we know, roughly 150 papers have come and they are on the different subjects. Circular economy we are talking about SDGs, we are talking about ESGs, we are talking about supply chain management, we are talking about sustainable finance, we are talking about HRM. So everything is sustainable. But I think in this case, what should be our takeaway is exchange of knowledge. We have to learn. And as the nature of subject is, we have a lot to learn. And it has to be a continuous process as we go ahead. So I think perhaps this conference will set the tone for a strategic learning alliance between all of us. There is no teacher here, there is no student here. At one level, all of us are students here. So I think that is the thing. So before I end, I will like to draw our attention of our cultural, our traditions, where we basically pray together to learn, to pray to the God to help us learn, to help us remain energetic, not to have jealousy with everyone and let everyone thrive. So I think from alone to partnership, and that is our age-old chant, Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahviryam Karvavahe Tejasvinamdhitamastu Ma Vidvasavahe. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Mishra. I would request Professor A.K. Sharma to felicitate Professor Mishra. I would now like to invite our chief guest for the evening, Mr. Praveen Kumar, Director General and CEO of Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, for his key address. He holds a BTech and MTech, both from IIT Kanpur, and MPhil in Social Science from Punjab University. He has a PG Diploma in Business Administration from Annamalai University and PG Diploma in Public Administration from Indian Institute of Public Administration. He is a 1987 batch retired IAS officer of Tamil Nadu cadre and has headed various responsibilities in Government of Tamil Nadu and Government of India in multiple departments such as finance, elections, industries, education, corporate affairs, new and renewable energy, etc. He has also headed a number of state and central public enterprises, including Tamil Nadu Magnesite Limited, Tamil Nadu Steel Limited, and Tamil Nadu Power Finance Corporation. An Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency as CMD, apart from acting as nominee director in a number of state PSUs and public-private partnership companies. He has also held memberships in boards, councils, BOG of various education-related institutions such as AICT, IIMs, IITs, ICER, and UGC committees. He retired from Government of India as Secretary, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship in June 2021. Apart from getting various awards from media and civil society organizations for his work as Chief Electoral Officer Tamil Nadu in the period 2010 to 2014 for conduct of totally free and fair elections in the period, he was also awarded the Prime Minister's Award for Excellence in Public Administration for the year 2019 for his role as the Central Government Prabhari Officer of the Aspirational District Virudnagar in Tamil Nadu. Welcome to DOM, sir.
Thank you, Nitya, and respected Dr. Partho here, Dr. Lenka, Dr. Tarun, and Dr. Manu, who is supposed to be here but not here like spirits, always there. And last, I have kept last, Dr. Rajiv Ranjan Mishra, an old friend. We call him the avatar of Bhagirath. Bhagirath brought in Ganga. He is now cleaning all the dirt which had occurred, and he has converted Ganga into the same back purity which was there. So we call him the avatar of Bhagirath in our friend circle. We have old associations going right from IIT days, IES days, we've been batchmates together. So I'm very happy to be here in this International Conference on Sustainable Business Management being organized by IIT Roorkee in partnership with Arizona University, State University. As I said, I have had an old association with IIT, not Roorkee, but Kanpur, where I did my studies. And I've been sitting there where all of you are sitting. And I know what you are thinking when people here come and speak yak, yak, yak. So I'm afraid standing in front of you speaking because I exactly know what you are thinking, unless in the last 40 years progress has occurred and you have become more serious and less frivolous than we were at that point of time. So, but a special thanks to IIT and the organizers for inviting me here. And as I said, I'm happy to be surrounded by youth intellect. I mean, you are the persons who are to shape the future of the world. And I'm happy that you have taken the challenge of integrating the sustainable philosophies in your future actions, because whatever you do will remain imprinted in your mind. You may not learn everything, but it will be imprinted, and layers will be formed in your mind which will decide your course of action when decision-making points come in future. Like everyone said here, sustainability is now a buzzword, but actually, be it in business, be in individual life, be in the humanity itself, the world itself, or the universe itself, sustainability is a major issue which the world is grappling with today. And being students of business management in the management school, you will be heading corporates, you will be participating in corporates at various levels, from starting from the junior level to senior executives to CXOs to board membership. So it cannot remain isolated from the issue of sustainability. As Dr. Mishra said in his remarks, that profit and sustainability can go together. So you can't remain separated, it will be there. We can see here, any word you see in the corporate ecosystem, the word sustainable has become a prefix. Be it sustainable human resource, sustainable supply chain, sustainable logistics, sustainable production, sustainable consumption, sustainable business as the topic of the seminar itself. So all these things, sustainable has come to occupy a key area in our living, especially in the corporate area. As I was introduced as the head of the institution called Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs, this institution has been grappling with the issue of sustainability in the corporate arena for some time now, 5 to 6 years. Rather, we assisted the government India in formulating the national guidelines for responsible business conduct. This is called NGBRCA. If you have not heard of it, you will be hearing it more and more of it in future as sustainability comes to occupy a central place in our mind frames. This was launched in 2019, and the guidelines laid down the basic requirements for business to function responsibly, ensuring a wholesome and inclusive process of economic growth. There were 9 principles and broad principles, 9 principles in the guidelines, and they aligned with the SDG goals which were there. And it was designed to be a common framework for all businesses, irrespective of their size, scope, sector, ownership, structure, location. Everyone could be fitted into these 9 principles of this. And even anyone could adapt their working according to the principles. Even SMEs could adapt their working. People say SMEs, a small organization, and there'll be cost issues if you go for sustainability, but they also could be adapted into this guidelines. And further, it, as Dr. Rajiv also said in his remarks on the passing, it urges not only to foster sustainability in your organization, but also encourage and support your suppliers, vendors, distributors, partners, and other stakeholders to adopt the guidelines. So you are not only responsible for your own organization to follow the guidelines, but you should ensure that whoever is a supplier, whoever is a partner, they also should be adopting the same principles. Now, based on this NGRBC, SEBI has now mandated something which is called Business Responsibility and Reporting Framework, BRSR. That also will be coming to know once you learn about SEBI and other things. Where top 1,000 listed companies have to give an annual report. The way they give the annual accounts every year, they have to give the BRSR report every year. They have to give it. So, what is coming that apart from the financial disclosures for which the companies remain accountable so far, this non-financial disclosure is also going to become important, and it will reflect how the company is oriented towards its environmental and social responsibilities. And this is the situation now, but I expect rapidly in next few years, rapid changes will be coming, and with sustainability will be playing more and more active role in the corporate decision making itself. And my appeal to us future business executives will be to recognize that, as again Dr. Rajiv, whatever I'm saying, Dr. Rajiv has already said something, so I have to quote him again and again. He has said that you should recognize that sustainability per se is not just a cost item of business. That to recognize. There's a cost in maintaining sustainability, but it has returns. While earning profit is one of the most important mottos of the business, but that we should recognize that mere profits itself will pose challenge for the business sustainability itself. Your business itself will be challenged if you are just focusing on profitability. I am not talking about the society. I am not talking about the universe or the environment. I am talking about your business which you will be running. Because what sustainability does, it adds to the bottom line in the long run. In the short run, there may be cost, but in the long run, you will end up with a better bottom line, and your shareholders also will be happy because of the returns which your company is giving in the long run itself. And the kind of goodwill sustainable practices generate will hold the company aloft for a long time. You must be, don't want to quote any names of any business houses, but some of the earliest businesses still thrive on the reputation which they have got over time based on the corporate governance practices and the care of the environment, care of the society around them. I can guess their names. I don't want to name them. So they still thrive. And this kind of the word sustainability might not have been there at that point of time, but that kind of actions which come under the name of sustainability nowadays has helped them create a brand value, which given a choice of two products of one company and of these companies will go for the other company because you know that these are reliable, they have good practices, they follow better practices. And if you decide to ignore sustainability, you will have to face the consequences of the same. Because now the pressure on the business is for sustainability is not only from NGOs or civil society, which are always there. They keep on, they are troublemakers, keep on making trouble for us. But the pressure will come now from the investors in the company, from the buyers, consumers, government regulations, international treaties. Many international treaties will force you to become sustainable, even if you don't want to. So I think basically my stress will be that sustainability should become part of your regular action. Or you end up like a company like Sterlite, very lovely company, very beautiful company. Good technology, latest technology. You must have heard of Sterlite, what happened to Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu. And playing a very important role in Atmanirbharta of the country. Because without that company, we have now started back importing material. But I think someone didn't focus on the various sustainability issues, the community, the social issues, the environment issues. Now it is closed for the last almost 7-8 years, it is closed. And big losses the company is incurring, the parents, I mean, the company which is there, Vedanta is incurring. So I think the effect of sustainability is already being seen, at least somewhat in India, but more in the Western countries. The country businesses have become careful on ethical and responsible business practices. And not only from there, from start to end, be it the supply chain, production processes, branding, marketing, all things, they have been very careful about the sustainable practices. And there has been generally nudging of businesses towards the more sustainable and responsible practices. We have seen, you must heard how the major fashion companies and others post India and other countries to ensure that child labor is not there in the production supply chain. This is another part of the sustainability issues. Or they remove a brand ambassador, very famous people, they are removed the moment some stigma comes into it. They are straight away removed. Even without knowing that what impact it will have on the business, they are removed. Don't want to be seen to non-ethical practices, people following non-ethical practices. An advantage of sustainability you are seeing already in some sectors. In energy area, you see the renewable energy is now cheaper than the coal-based energy. It's a win-win situation. You reduce cost by going for a renewable energy, and this is profitable to your business. And we are not talking about profit to environment, etc. That is a holier goal. But as a direct advantage to the company itself, renewable energy has proved to be a good sustainable practice. We expect sectors outside of power also to accelerate towards net zero efforts and more advancements in other energy sectors like green hydrogen, which government is focusing on. That is going to become a very important source of energy and raw material in various components where hydrogen is involved. Again, transportation and heavy industry, which will see right movement towards decarbonization. These are areas, if you go to work on these areas after your studies, these areas where you'll be seeing a lot of efforts towards decarbonization and sustainable energy. Second area where a lot of changes happened and more expected to happen is the issue of access to green finance. Sustainable finance, ma'am mentioned sustainable finance in this speech. So clean energy initiatives are already attracting capital from diverse set of participants like asset managers, infrastructure funds, institutional investors. They are willing to invest in companies who are working in the clean energy area. And even private equity, private equity by definition will be focusing only on profit. And venture capitalists have quadrupled the investment in certain clean energy technologies since 2017. This is 5 years. 5 years they have quadrupled the investment in such technologies. Other thing which has been tried is blended finance, where you leverage the normal development finance with clean energy finance to have more sustainable growth, put conditionalities on sustainable growth. All these things are happening. We have dedicated funds to invest in ESG areas, companies who are involving in, as ESG is environment, social governance. If you have not heard of it, you take it from me, you will be hearing more and more of it in the next 1 year, 2 years. Like CSR, everyone knows. ESG, everyone will be knowing. Your president talks about India, it has just started. SEBI has just mandated only for 1,000 companies, but every company will be soon be mandated for doing ESG, following the ESG practices. So there are funds which are dedicated to ESG. Business access to which that is the source of funds, assured cheaper funds which you can get. The studies will show that investors are ready to give a premium of 20 basis points if the fund is oriented towards sustainable practice, ESG practice, compared to a identical mutual fund which does not have such a condition. This trend is going to go up, and as good business person, we should be able to tap this trend by having such practices in the company which we are working in. And the third issue which is going to impact businesses is the expected impact of climate change per se, and also one thing is the impact of the climate change. One is the apprehensions of the impact of climate change itself is having effect. कि climate change होगा, उसका ये impact होगा, अभी हुआ नहीं, but that is going to affect your business. This apprehension itself is going to affect your business, because what will happen is climate change risk, like insurance. The insurance cost will go up in anticipation of climate change risk will be there. The insurance cost may go up. Then asset valuation will change. because the impact of climate change, people will think the valuation will change on that. So all those things will be affecting your profit. So we have to be oriented towards these issues, these risks which will come because of climate change, especially in sectors like agriculture, real estate, energy, tourism. This is already being seen. Real estate, we have a new market of net zero buildings. People are demanding net zero buildings, and also I'm sure some of your buildings in IT Roorkee will be claiming that we are net zero or something, or you must be driving towards it. That must be there. Some of the buildings with. That is a second. Yeah. So that will be there because that is the biggest bragging points that my building is net zero. We produce so much solar energy and this energy, and we don't use grid energy at all because we are surplus energy wise. Or net zero waste. All the wastewater is being used in the campus itself. So all these things are already come in the real estate area. So there will be premium on these kind of things and designs which are net zero designs. Other industry also going to be affected, but maybe perhaps in the medium term or the long term. And this leads to that fear of climate change is going to affect the consumer business also. This I will call the fourth factor which sustainability or change which is going to bring in. I am talking, if you see, more on change in the business practices you are going to expect because of sustainability issues for which you need to be prepared. What is going to happen that consumers will start giving a premium to ESG compliant products. That will happen first, the rich will do, then the middle class will come in, then everyone will start taking that only. Like the organic label. Organic label, people are ready to pay more to take organic food. Kuch din baad hoga, the organic food is the only, everyone will start demanding, that will remain the only food available. Other food will go away. Those things happen over time. So perhaps green dot may come in, which is ESG compliant. Even ESG index may come in, where companies are evaluated by third party, like you have a ratings for taking debt, credit ratings and all that. There will be ratings on ESG. What is the rating? What is the score? A small numerical score. Or for 5-star rating like we have for the ACs. Or we have now this food ratings which will be discussed by FSSAI, that star rating. Similar thing will come for our ESG also, and people will be ready to pay more for ESG compliant products. And the last most important thing will happen, that the regulatory environment, which demands now only a voluntary compliance for you as far as the ESG format is there, it will become more and more constrictive, more mandatory. Already some of the elements you see are already mandatory, like environment issues are mandatory, some of the social issues in terms of labor laws, in terms of employing child labor, in terms of equal treatment of labor between gender-wise and community-wise. All those things are already there. But more and more items which are only voluntary, they will become mandatory over time. Plus, the foreign export-oriented industries are going to face the headwinds much earlier, because Europe especially has a special way of enforcing things. They put conditions in which they say whatever product is coming, the industry should be compliant XYZ. So they keep on increasing the compliance thing. So in this, business and human rights is going to come in. Business and human rights, that is a new area which is coming in, which is not yet common in India, that how business affects human rights, that is also, they will start imposing in the conditions. So slowly, is going to be, pressure will be going to be created over time to follow the ESG, sustainability thing, which is reflected to this ESG mandate which we are having. So my suggestion is better to be prepared for it when it is still voluntary, when you can design your systems, instead of being mandatorily forced to adopt practice. If you're mandatory, Europe says that by this year, next 1 year, all the product should be that. So we are going to do suboptimal solutions. We will do to have solutions to that. It's better to have it be prepared voluntarily to adopt these ESG practices. So the boards, where you will end up as CEOs and boards at the end of your 20 years, 15 years, some earlier, I don't know. Nowadays, people go faster also, depending on the thing. So there will be challenge, I mean, to take on ESG as one decision-making tool. And it will be sustainability will be a consideration in the boards always now for any decision making. Rather, any decision you take has to be seen through the sustainability lens, as you see through the profit lens. Whenever some proposal comes in the board, you see profit hota hai ki nahi hota hai. The sustainability lens also will have to be seen by the board, or else it will end up like Starlight, which happened. It had to get closed because that perhaps those lenses were not put on. What is the environment impact of business? What is the human capital impact? What's the governance issues in this? Supply chains, how will be the adapted this? So this will help the board not only to avoid risks of failure, but also help in long-term value creation. As I said in the beginning, that sustainability helps in long-term value creation in the company. And perhaps a new post may come in, like Chief Finance Officer, Chief Technology Officer, a post of Chief Sustainability Officer may come in. It's already come in some companies, but it may come in who. But the only thing, many companies, they are interested with the job only of regulatory compliance to fill up the forms. Perhaps time will be there to give them a say in all verticals, audit all proposals. So like the finance department is a horizontal, it's not a vertical, it's a horizontal team working through all verticals. Similarly, chief sustainability team also will have to have access directly to the CEO and working across all verticals, analyzing each action from the sustainability angle. Other, his job should be to bring in a culture of sustainability among each of the employees, to start thinking in the terms of sustainability. That will be the success of such chief sustainability officer. But where are these chief sustainability officers? Realizing there is a shortage of human resource in this area. This is a marketing pitch from my side, by the way. Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs has ventured out some courses on both for creating professionals on ESG, professionals on business and human rights, and professionals on strategic CSR. So all these courses we have, but the ISC has been involved, as I told in the beginning itself, for the sustainability issues. And we have a separate school also called School of Business Environment, which looks at this only, separate school looking in ISC on this. So we are also undertaking this NGRBC guidelines is there, but now sector-wise taking up NGRBC guidelines. For each sector will have different constraints. Like textiles, we have taken up apparel and garment sector. Then again, we'll be taking up other sectors to prepare guidelines for sector-wise, this kind of thing. So this conference is a very good, has come at the right time, I suppose, where we are right at the crux, where whenever this olive curve goes, the slope goes up, like where at that point of time where takeoff is going to occur. So I hope this conference and IIT Roorkee is in a position to recommend various aspects, because through the papers and through the discussions, seminars which we have here, give good insights, new insights, and also a practical guide to future managers how to integrate sustainability into the day-to-day working. I wish all the best to the organizers, scholars, and participants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would request Professor A. Ramesh to felicitate Mr. Praveen Kumar. I would now request Professor Manu Kumar Gupta, convener SBM 2023, for the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Nariti. First of all, welcome all of you on this occasion where we are starting the conference on sustainable business management. As a part of our celebration, which is marking 25 years of the Department of Management Studies. So first of all, I would like to extend a heartfelt thanks to all the dignitaries in the dais, Professor Usha Lenka, Head Department of Management Studies, Praveen Kumar, Professor Rajiv Ranjan, Professor Partha, Professor Tarun, for gracing this occasion, for being part of this conference. And then I would like to thank our sponsors. Sponsors include Emarticus, Hindustan Salts, ICSSR, Mind and Matters, Viswa's Environment Private Limited. And a big thanks to all the participants who have traveled from across the places, from different parts of India. All of you have come here. Thank you very much. It would not have been possible to have a meaningful conference without your participation. And next, I would like to thank the faculty members and the departments, faculty members and the support from our departments. So Professor Ramesh, Professor Rangnekar, Professor Barua, Professor Anil Sarma, Professor Kalpak, Professor Saurabh. So all of them and many of the faculty members could not make it, but their support and their willingness to help us in any part of the program has been indispensable. So with this, I thank and basically will probably stand for national anthem. So thank you all of you.